With the exception of rovers and the occasional dust devil, the odds of seeing anything move on Mars are exceedingly low. But this week, while Perseverance was shooting close ups of its recent abrasion patch, somehow it happened. On this episode of Mars Guy, we last left Perseverance among what appears to be olivine rich rocks with a chunky texture. Here's Mars Guy for scale. These rocks could be the result of cataclysmic explosive volcanic eruptions, as I presented in the previous episode. This week, Perseverance drove to a point just over 25 meters to the east, arriving among rocks that are different than the ones it departed. This means that Perseverance crossed a geologic contact between two different rock types. It went to work using the abrading bit in the drill to create a smooth and relatively fresh surface for the arm mounted instruments to get a better look. But instead of a smooth surface, the abrading operation appears to have plucked out chunks of rock, leaving behind angular voids. I suspect that Perseverance has arrived back among material deposited by the impact that created Jezero Crater. The resulting rock could include angular bits of other rocks in a poorly cemented matrix, leaving them susceptible to being plucked out by the abrading operation. This would explain the variable colors and textures of the chunks visible in this rock. And in a literal aside, Perseverance also inspected this strange little chunky rock, which drew enough interest that the team opted to deploy the gas dust removal tool on it before Watson took a look. It revealed what almost qualifies as a fractal texture, where what appears to be a void space, probably left after a chunk fell out, has a tinier version along its outer margin. This is very likely a void space left after a tiny pebble fell out. It looks like this gray pebble trapped in the rock will probably leave a similar void someday when it gets plucked out by erosion. 3 sols or Martian days after the first Watson deployment on the abrasion patch, it returned for another look, this time closer up. And as is commonly done, it shot a second image from a laterally shifted position to allow for stereo images that can be used for 3D rendering. What's not common is to see changes occurring in the 3 minutes elapsed time between the first and second image. And it's not just a few sand grains that have appeared, but a miniature avalanche of grains that have collected in local lows and in isolated occurrences throughout the scene. I wondered if repositioning of the camera for the second image may have inadvertently produced contact of some part of the Watson Sherlock instrument package, knocking loose sand grains into the abrasion patch. But that movement was from right to left. The distribution of the grains looks like they came in from the left, not the right. And such contact is exceedingly unlikely given the safeguards that have thus far prevented it. A passing dust devil could easily have knocked sand grains into the abrasion patch, but there was notably little disturbance of grains surrounding the patch in the views from Mastcam Z before and after the Watson images were taken. The few grains that have moved perhaps attest to a small gust of wind, just strong enough to dump sand grains into the abrasion patch, but not anything coarser. Still, I can't definitively rule out some other means of photobombing a Watson image.